pull that turkey leg out your mouth and wake yourself up from your tryptophan coma, because it is officially Black Friday, and that means we are officially doing another one of these buying guides. Last year I did one where I highlighted 5 things that I think every motorcyclist should grab. This year we're going crazy and I'm basically doing a garage dump. We're going over a bunch of fun stuff that I think every rider should at least check out and consider, starting off with stuff that'll help you out in the garage. Then we're going over my gear, then we're taking a look at some camera stuff just in case you're looking to start vlogging. And then we're gonna take a look at some stuff from the sponsors at the very end. No big long preamble, let's dive in. Now we're gonna start out with some stuff that's gonna help you out in the garage. And first and foremost, this is a carryover from last year, but Home Depot has a screaming deal on this Milwaukee impact gun right here. You get the gun, the battery, the charger, and a carrying bag, which is over there, for $100. Considering the fact that one of these batteries can cost close to $100, getting everything else for essentially free is insane. Limit 5 per customer. Just go buy one now. The reason why I'm not recommending Greenie this year is because honestly, I've just been reaching for the impact gun more and more. There are some specialized times when this comes in handy, but for just about everything, this is the winner. It may also surprise you to find out that I don't have an air compressor in this garage. The only thing that I would use it for is airing up tires, and I can do that just as easily for cheaper with one of these portable tire inflators. I did a couple of sponsored segments with Fantic back in the day, but honestly, these are 6R23s. You can get the Fantic because it's what I have, or you can go on Amazon and get any number of the infinite number of ones out there. They honestly probably all come from the same factory. Then if you're hauling motorcycles, you basically have to have one of these cycle cinches. I used to just use the standard Harbor Freight Tools ratcheting straps, and those were okay, but I had to get creative with some of the tie downs. These basically function like canyon dancers, except they can go on any motorcycle. The best part is I met the owner of Cycle Cinch, and he's just a guy here in Austin, so you'd be supporting a local company if you pick one of these up. Then if you have multiple motorcycles in the garage, you need something like this. This is something that I got super excited about when I saw a video over on RevZilla. And all it is a standard motorcycle stand, but with casters, so you can move a bike around in the garage while it's on stands. That's literally what they're designed for. They're freaking awesome. This right here is the front stand, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend you store a motorcycle on this stand because of the way that it holds the front tire. But when combined with a rolling rear stand, you can basically just easily move a motorcycle around the garage with one hand. They're a little on the pricey side for a motorcycle stand, but they are highly worth it, especially if you have multiple bikes in the garage or you're dealing with confined spaces. Then lastly, we have my Magic Spray. And by Magic Spray, I mean SC1. This is basically new bike in a can, and I use it all the time to make my older used bikes look fresh. You wanna make sure you're not getting this stuff on anything that requires friction. So your seat, your tires, your brakes, your grips, anything that you need to touch, you don't wanna get this on because it's gonna make it a little bit too slippery. But on the positive side, it means that it keeps dirt and grime off the bike. It makes it easier to wash. And again, when you apply it to a bike just right, it gives it a really nice new bike shine. It's also dirt cheap. You can get like a 4-pack on Amazon. Next up, a bunch of people have asked me what gear I wear, and I figured I'd walk you through it from the inside out and then the top down. So first and foremost, the most important piece that I wear other than my helmet is this. It's an Alpinestars Tech Air 5 Plasma. Now, I wear a bunch of different Alpinestars Tech Air depending on what I'm doing. I've got the Tech Air 7X built into my race suit. I've got a Tech Air off-road, but for most people, the Tech Air 5 Plasma is gonna cover everything you need. It's got an off-road mode, it's got a track mode, and it's got a street mode, so it's a little bit of everything built into one of their more affordable platforms. You've got the self-serviceable containers, you've got long and fast charging battery life, as well as it's completely autonomous, so you don't have to worry about connecting anything to your motorcycle. My helmet of choice is the Alpinestars SuperTech R10, and the reason why I like this so much is because there's a single piece of plastic in there that changes the game.
They call it their A-head system, but what it allows you to do is change where the helmet sits on your head so that you can actually see where you're going, especially when you get into a full tuck. Also, I mean, tell me this isn't one of the best looking helmets. The graphics that Alpinestars has put on these, top notch. I do wish though that their build quality was just a little bit better. I've had some issues with this one. Nothing that keeps me from wanting to wear it, but not great when you're talking about an $1,100 helmet. Next up, we have my hot weather jackets. The first one is this, the Alpinestars T-Stunt Air. The reason why I like this so much is because it's basically entirely mesh, and it's got these zip-offable sleeves right here that basically cover up in case you need like a little bit of wind protection. You know, like it gets a little cold in the morning, you just zip that on, and then when it gets hot, it just comes right off. You also have these huge mesh panels right here in the front and then in the back, and there's enough room under here for me to stick my airbag vest. Then for those days when it's not blazing hot out, I go for my Alpinestars Chrome Sport Air V2 hoodie because A, it looks really cool, and B, it has these giant mesh panels here that flow a ton of air. This could easily be an incognito jacket where you basically can't tell it's motorcycle gear unless you start feeling the thin armor in the shoulders and in the elbows. I also wear my airbag vest under this guy. Next up is my cold weather jacket, and this is the NBT Bomber. They sent this out to me a while ago asking if I'd like to check out their gear to feature it in a video, and it took me a long time to get to it, but here it is. NBT is one of those brands you see a lot on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. And for one of those brands, I was kind of expecting the quality to be meh. And to be honest, there is some stuff that's not great, but their riding pants and this bomber jacket are awesome. This thing's roomy enough to fit my airbag underneath it. It's warm enough that I'm sweating my ass off standing in the sun. And when I'm riding, it's super comfortable. I can even put a hoodie under it if it's a really chilly day. Now, I used to think that wearing gauntlets on the street was kind of stupid. These really make sense as a track glove, but then I bought a set of these SP8 V3s, and I fell in love with them both on the street and on the racetrack. I have a couple of different pairs of these. One that has like a mesh back that's a lot more comfortable in the heat. Then I have these, which are basically my go-to track gloves, but I've also been wearing them all the time on the street just because they're so comfortable. I've also been struggling to find a set of gauntlets that fit my big Norseman hands that don't cost like a gazillion dollars. And these are actually really well priced and they fit so good once they break in. Now, admittedly, I'm one of those people that doesn't always wear motorcycle specific pants. A lot of times I'll just wear jeans, but that's because I haven't found a set that I really love until now. These right here are the NBT License to Ride cargo pants, and I absolutely love these. They're nice and stretchy, which is nice, which means that I can get a good fit no matter how many cheeseburgers I've eaten. And the knee pocket opens up right here on the side of the leg, which means it's easy to take the armor in and out when you're not riding. I also have a set of the NBT Stalwarts right here. These are the originals. They're now up to the 2.0, but they're basically the exact same as a License to Ride, but with that nice denim look. Same stretchy material. They've got a Kevlar lining with a mesh inside layer so it doesn't stick to your leg, and the removable armor right here in the knees. My only problem with NBT is they don't really make a pair of jeans in my size anymore. I need a 38-32 or a 40-32 depending on which cut of jean I'm wearing, and they don't make a 40-32 or a 38-32, or at least they're not available on the website currently. It's all grayed out. These are a 40-34 and I still wear them, but when I do and I use the knee armor, it doesn't sit in the right place unless I really hike the legs up. So that's the biggest issue right there. I really wish they'd expand their sizing to include some more, you know, wide and short. More American sizes, shall we say. Lastly, we have my boots, and these are the Alpinestars SMX-6s. These things I have been wearing since back at the Yami Noob days. Not these ones specifically, but this style of boot. They're super comfortable to wear all day long. They're really flexible, and the feeling of the controls through the leather is really, really nice. I've worn a lot of boots on motorcycles, and I can say hands down, these are the best I've ever worn. The only thing better are my smc-r boots, but those are basically race and track day only boots. They're not great for street use. Next up, I wanted to take a second and talk about cameras, because if you're trying to record your rides with buddies, or maybe your laps on the racetrack, or maybe you wanted to dip your toe into the YouTube pool in 2026, you're gonna wanna check out one of these. And we're gonna start out with the action cameras. Now, it's worth pointing out that I am sponsored by DJI, but I've used them all, and for my money, you can't beat the Action line from DJI. They just dropped their Action 6, but at time of recording, it's not currently available, which means that the Action 5 is still at the top of the heap. If I'm being smart about editing, you're currently looking at footage shot on the Action 5, and I can say right now that this is an absolute workhorse of a camera, and it has taken some serious abuse. And you can get it at Best Buy for around $270, which is insane bang for the buck. However, if you're not looking for the pinnacle of features on your action camera, the Action 4 is about 90% as good as the Action 5, and you can get it for around $210 at Best Buy, which again is just insane value for the money that you're getting. Next, let's talk about 360 cameras. And I know you're thinking, well, Spite, you're sponsored by DJI, you're holding the DJI Osmo 360 and the X5, so the DJI is the best camera, right? And no, not necessarily. This thing does have better picture quality in my opinion. I have a full review shaking these two down coming shortly, but the key takeaway is that the X5 is still the only 360 camera with replaceable lenses, which means that if you damage it, you can replace it, whereas this, you actually have to send it back to DJI. So for my money, it's still gotta be the X5 for now. It's also worth pointing out you can get this for $464 on Insta360's website. Now, if you're trying to do the whole YouTube thing, you're going to want what I call a main camera. Now, your phone in your pocket can do most of this, but if you want a dedicated camera, I would honestly forego the big DSLR. It's what I'm talking to right now, but I'm gonna show you some footage from my reviews that have been filmed entirely on the Pocket 3, and honestly, for the ease of use, you cannot beat the quality that you're getting with this thing. This can shoot vertical, it can shoot horizontal, it can shoot slow-mo, and it has a mechanical gimbal, which means that you're not sacrificing any of the image quality for digital image stabilization. Another thing to consider if you're doing the YouTube thing is a wireless mic setup. I highly recommend taking a look at DJI's Mic 2, the Mic Mini, or in my case, the Mic 3, which I'm currently talking to right now. Oh yeah, baby. Seriously though, the Mic 3 takes all of the things that I like about the Mic 2 and packages it in a Mic Mini size while also still giving you the screen on the receiver, which the Mic Mini doesn't have, which can make it a little bit difficult to manage some of your settings. You can use this to record pieces to camera like I'm currently doing, or you could even use it in your helmet to record vlogs. I'll have prices for all three of these on screen. And then we're gonna finish this video up strong with some stuff from channel sponsors, and we're gonna start out with Cardo because their deals are time limited. They are currently running their Black Friday sale right now, which allows you to get 25% off by clicking that link down in the description. No codes or anything. Cardo is the best, in my opinion, comm system out there, and I have been using Cardo products since 2016, way before I even started this YouTube game. This right here is the PackTalk Edge. I also have a PackTalk Pro, which has all of the newest features, but I wanted to show you this on this helmet right here. This is my dirt helmet, and I needed a Cardo on it quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the only one I could buy was a free comm. So I was like, you know what? I've never used it. Let's give it a shot. For an entry point into the helmet comms ecosystem, this is gonna give you everything that you want at a lower price tag. It is a little bit limited on how many riders it can connect to, and the range is a little bit less than DMC mesh connection here. And I don't love the fact that there's this rolly wheel on the bottom, because it means sometimes my gear rubs on my shoulder and it turns the volume up or down depending. But admittedly, that problem could be solved with some better placement on the helmet. If you're looking for a Cardo and you don't want to get the biggest and fanciest one because you're like, I'm not going to use all these features, I highly recommend you check out one of these free comms. Moving on over, we've got another time limited sale because Quad Lock is currently doing their Black Friday sale,
and it is ending soon as well. In my opinion, they are the best phone mount and case that I've used on a motorcycle, and I've used just about everything. They're cheaper and just as tough as rock form. They have better build quality than SP Connect, and personally, I just like it better than Peak Designs. Their mount is a little bit wibbly, and it only has the little 2 teeth that hold it on. Not to mention the fact that Quad Lock has a ton of accessories, like this new wireless charging head right here, which is on the Tuono, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I use both in my car and in the office. Then we've got kind of an interesting one if you're looking to update one of your motorcycles. This is from Chiji, and it is the AI06. This right here is a full 6-inch touchscreen dashboard that you can install on literally any motorcycle, any bike. If you're rolling around on an old motorcycle and you wish that you had a fancy TFT dash, or maybe you don't want to put your phone on the dashboard, this is an excellent alternative, and as you can see here, completely removable, so you can put it on multiple motorcycles. There is a link and a discount down below. However, I don't believe they're doing a Black Friday sale. And then we have one of my favorites, the brake-free helmet light. This thing is quite literally a lifesaver. I was off-road riding around with one of these on the back of my helmet, and it was super dusty out, and people could actually see when I was getting on the brakes because this cut through the dust, and dirt bikes don't have brake lights. This is just a really easy piece of safety equipment, and I highly recommend it to every rider out there. I've done a gazillion brake-free spots, so I'm gonna leave it there. There is a link down in the description below where you can get $10 off your order. And regardless of whether or not you buy anything that I feature in this video, I hope that you guys had a good Thanksgiving, and I'll catch you guys later.